Orson, come into the light. Never stand in the shadows. You were made for the light. Always remember that. Now turn around and make a wish. Go on. You must blow out your candles. One breath now. That's all you get. One chance. Are you ready? Now.
He came to the town of magic and dreams, a flashing star blazing through the firmament of illusion. He was 24 years old, and his name was Orson Welles. Sound the trumpets, unfurl the banners, Hollywood. The boy wonder has arrived. May 6, 1915, the prodigy makes his debut on the world stage in Kenosha, Wisconsin. May 7th, he speaks his first words, and they are, "I am a genius." Subsequent developments confirm this opinion. At 18, he goes to New York, the cauldron of the world. Watch out, cauldron. Orson has arrived. Like Hannibal over the Alps, the boy genius invades the Great White Way with production after production. And then, he takes to the airwaves, step 2 in his plan for global domination.
This is the end now. They're running toward the East River, thousands of them, dropping in like rats.
The war of the world's broadcast sends this nation spinning into a frenzy. Yes, the boy wonder has fooled us all.
We had no idea any of this was happening. I feel just horrible.
How long can it possibly be before the sunny land of dreams tries to harness the combustible power of this showman extraordinaire? The winner in the Wells Derby is George Schaefer, the head of RKO Pictures. With a contract unimaginable before the days of Orson, Mr. Schaefer captures the whirlwind, snares the beast. Eyebrows raise and jaws drop when terms of the deal come forth. The boy wonder can write, direct, and star in his own projects. The studio? Well, they just pay the bills. So cometh Orson. He met the biggest of the big and charmed his way through the town. From the Brown Derby to the Copacabana. From Luella Parsons to Hedda Hopper, those rival maidens of Hollywood gossip. And so today, almost a year after his arrival, we leave the boy wonder still hard at work, developing his much-anticipated first feature. We're waiting, Orson.
Genius. Who does that cocksucker think he is?
Word is, Glory Boy's all finished, Mr. Mayor. Can't come up with a movie.
They're laying bets over at RKO. This deal ends up with him never doing a picture. Back to New York he goes.
After RKO boots him, let's pick him up cheap. Have him do that War of the Worlds crap as a feature. Well, it's money in the bank for us, and bingo, no more genius.
This is Hollywood, Junior. What did you expect? And you keep coming up with the same elitist crap.
Enough, Mank. God. I've heard this from Schaefer and everyone else at RKO. I don't need to hear it from you.
Heart of Darkness, $1 million budget. No one wants to see that.
That's nonsense, and you know it.
Orson, what do you think movies are about?
Don't start this, Mank, please.
No, I'm interested. What do you think movies are about?
Life's rich pageant.
Life's rich pageant, my ass. People are sick to death of life. They want make-believe. Okay? They want Tarzan and Jane, not Tristan and Isolde.
You know what they want, Mank? Magic.
You know what your job is in Hollywood? Put butts in seats. It's all about selling popcorn and Pepsi Colas.
Not for me, it isn't.
Well, then you're about to become the youngest never was in the history of Hollywood.
Better than the oldest has been.
Is it?
Okay, Mank. What are we gonna write?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the boy wonder. No? Oh, Jesus Christ, come on. The old man doesn't cotton to lateness.
Good evening, Mr. Hurst. My name is Orson Welles.
Orson!
we set traps everywhere, right? And every morning, the traps would be sprung, but there would be no mice.
What?
So, one night, I noticed Pops here getting out of bed.
I've got it.
in the middle of the
Sigmund
night.
Freud, Life and Times.
No, that's a great idea. Just got your ass kicked on Joseph Conrad, and now it's the id and the superego.
And I'll be goddamned if he isn't springing the traps and leaving cheese for the goddamn mice. You and that guy Disney in love with the damn rats.
Okay, then, Manolete.
Who?
Manolete, the great Spanish bullfighter. Imagine Clark here in a glittering suit of lights on the Andalusian plains.
Mr. Wells is a tempting semaphore.
Bullfighting, Miss Davies.
Oh, and is dear Mank your bull?
My factotum, comrade in arms, ally.
Flunky. Pimp.
Rider, that too.
You find many bulls there in New York, Austin?
No, when I was a tender lad, my father and I made a tour of the grand boulevards of Europe. When we were in Spain, I had the good fortune to sit at the knee of Manolete, the greatest bullfighter of the age. What is the matador's greatest enemy, he asked me, and of course I naively responded, the bull. No, the bull is merely his adversary. His greatest enemy is his own fear. You see, to kill the bull, one must first learn to think like him. Having said that, he strode forth gallantly into the ring. He flourished again. Suddenly the bull charged. It thundered towards him, its calamitous hooves shaking the earth beneath Manolete's feet. And as it was almost upon him, he stepped to the side, flourished again, and struck. And when the dust cleared, the sword was gone, vanished in the bloody eye of the beast.
It is barbaric. Of all man's sadism, none is more depraved than his cruelty to animals.
Oh. In Spain, sir, the cruelty would be in denying the beast a fighting end. As in your magnificent zoo, for instance.
And who are you, sir?
Orson Welles, sir.
Ah, the actor.
And director.
I wish you luck. In Hollywood, the bull and the matador are both slaughtered.
Why the crack about the zoo? Why not just let it lie?
Because he's a hypocrite, Mank.
Yeah, so what? Listen, I like to come here. I want to be asked back.
Why? You have no place here.
Because Marion's my friend.
Did you hear what he said to me? Preaching against man's cruelty to animals? I mean, come on.
Come here. I want to show you something. The old man owns the biggest publishing empire in the world. When you have all that, you can preach whatever you want.
Like appeasing Hitler.
Yeah, a lot of people agree with him. He tells them what they want to hear.
As if that was something to be proud of.
Can't smoke you.
Of course. How could I forget? No smoking, no drinking, no moral vices whatsoever. I suppose keeping an alcoholic mistress half your age is considered a virtue here.
The old man has his own way of doing things.
I'll say.
Oh, God, these parties are awful.
You need to get out of here, Rapunzel.
That's why he has the parties. He says it's like bringing the world to me. But it's not so bad here. I mean, what girl doesn't want to live in a castle? Hey, Mr. Wells certainly is a caution, isn't he? And attractive, in a hammy sort of way.
Listen, why don't you come down and stay with us for a few days? Just tell the old man.
He needs me here.
So how big is this monstrosity?
The estate? Half the size of Rhode Island.
You're kidding.
No, it's the place God would have built if he had the money.
Hello.
Mankey, will you dance with me?
I'll dance with you.
Good, thank you.
You've been naughty.
Can you smell it? So,
Are you ever gonna do a picture?
Oh, God, not you too, Carol.
It's gonna be fine, Orson. You're gonna do just great. You're just scared.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
And what am I scared of, Carol?
Of being found out. Of not being a genius.
God damn it, Pops. Gotta do something.
There's no need for that kind of language.
God damn it.
Orson, you missed the beat.
I've got it. I know what we're going to do. Imagine a man who shaped his time. A titanic figure of limitless ambition, a man with an empire at his feet, controlling the perceptions of everyone beneath him. A modern, feudal lord. The great American biography, A Journey into the Heart of the Beast.
Oh, no.
Don't you see it? He spent a lifetime making entertainment out of other people's lives, and now we turn the tables on him. It's perfect.
It's perfectly suicidal.
How long have I been looking for the answer when all this time it's been right here under my nose? Every day in the newspapers, on the radio, waiting for us in that ridiculous castle.
Orson,
waiting
stop,
to
stop.
I've talked to Arnie. He says it's all right. He says he's a public figure who sought out that publicity, so legally he can't...
Listen to me, you child. He doesn't worry about legalities. Do you know why? Because he has more power than you could even begin to imagine.
All the more reason to do it.
Because he insulted you at a dinner party?
Because he's a hypocrite. Because he's a political turncoat. He claims to care about the common man when nothing could be further from the truth.
Well, he's a journalist. He owns Hollywood. We're the shit on his shoes. You better go back to Broadway, kiddo.
Expected more from you, Mike.
Yeah, me too, but I got used to it.
How does that feel? Getting used to it. How's that feel? Going up to the palace and amusing all the lords and ladies with the same old stories they've heard 100 times before. How does it feel being the ugly little monkey they keep around to amuse themselves? I remember a man who wrote, a writer who dazzled me with his wit and insight, who hasn't had a credit in 4 years because he's been so furiously busy wasting himself amusing his keepers. Because he's a sycophant, and because he's been thrown out of every studio in Hollywood and no one will hire him because he's a drunk. Which reminds me, I'm sorry, Mank, you must be thirsty. Here, have another. I wouldn't want to stand in the way of progress.
Do you honestly expect me to believe you care about me? You don't give a fuck about anyone but yourself. Hearst was right about you. You're just another goddamn actor.
I'm sorry.
Orson, I don't have it in me anymore. I used to have dreams, too. But that's over now.
Doesn't have to be.
It is. No studio would hire me.
I'll hire you. I just know this is the story. Everything in my life, all the potential, all the promise has led to this moment, to right now, to you and me.
Orson, he will destroy us.
Take my hand, Hank. We'll make history. We'll scorch the earth. We will astonish them all.
No, it's for a novel.
My great modern tragedy. On Hearst.
You're joking.
I guess great minds think alike, kid.
You've never told me about this before.
I haven't looked at it in 10 years. More importantly, I never showed it to anyone else. You know why? Because I want to go on living.
Time to let go of that ambition, old boy. Rosebud.
What?
Marion told Carol Lombard that the old man's pet name for it is Rosebud. My God, Mank. He has a pet name for her pussy and you never told me?
Orson, you can't do a picture where you have a pet name for a pussy. In fact, you can't do a picture where you have any name for a pussy.
Oh, I think we can find a way.
Oh, you just don't get it, do you? Why do you think I scrapped all this stuff?
You can't scrap this. It's too good. This is gold, Mank.
Gold? You want gold? I'll give you some gold. This is a story you won't find written down in there or anywhere else for that matter. It's 1924 or so. And Hearst is giving a birthday party for an old Hollywood producer called Thomas Ince on his yacht. And all the usuals are there, Charlie Chaplin, Luella, etc. And at this time, Marion was screwing everyone, and so she slips off with Chaplin. Hearst sees this. He goes absolutely nuts. He's there on the deck with the revolver just blasting away like Tom Mix. And he hits Thomas Ince right in the chest, and he is dead. Dead. The Empire snaps into action. Ince is cremated, lickety-split. No police, no inquest. The Hearst papers cover it up nice and quiet. The next morning, Hearst offers Luella a lifetime contract to keep Pearl hush-hush. Now, you tell me, you still want to take a shaft to a man like that?
Are you kidding me? More than ever.
Supposed to be Siam. Some kind of Balinese temple. Does it look like a temple to you?
Marion, I've spoken to Millicent. She said no. Again. She believes it would put her soul in peril. Divorce is a very serious sin, evidently.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. She just cares about the money. You know, she thinks that I'll make you cut her out of the will.
I do wish you wouldn't use that language.
He's a monster, Mank, an unfeeling monster like all great men.
Yeah, but how do we dramatize that? Say we say there was a time when he was innocent. There was a time when he lost something. Something he loved?
You're off there. Men like Hearst don't love.
All men love, Orson, or have loved. What about Marion?
She's just another piece in his collection. She's just like one of the animals in his zoo.
Well, to Hearst, that is love. I love you. I built you a beautiful cage. Love on his own terms. No?
Love on your own terms. Those are the only terms anybody ever knows.
There's your tragedy. Orson, I'm in.
What?
I'll write it.
Mank, that is the sweetest thing you've ever said to me.
I'll call George. I'll get a secretary. No, I'll get two secretaries. We can get housemen. Don't you sit there. Start writing.
Orson, I just want to know when I'm going to see your script.
Well, how about a month? Is that acceptable?
Acceptable? No. Anything more than 3 weeks is totally unacceptable.
All right, then fine. What do you want me to do?
I've got New York on the phone. I've got a fiscal
I've got
court.
Mank and Hausman writing already.
Who?
Mankiewicz, Herman Mankiewicz.
Mank? It'd be a goddamn miracle.
Toast then, Jedediah, to love on my own terms. Because those are the only terms anybody has ever known. His own.
Telegram from the Christ child. Schaefer loves the idea, stop. Keep writing, stop. Stop drinking, stop. Did you work in the jigsaw puzzles, question mark. Don't stop, stop. Love you madly, Orson.
Asshole, stop.
So Greg Tolan plunks his Oscar down for Wuthering Heights and says, Mr. Wells, I want to shoot your picture. Mr. Toland, I said, you are the finest cinematographer in Hollywood. Why would you want to work with a stumbling neophyte? Mr. Wells, he replied, the only way to learn anything new is to work with someone who doesn't know a damn thing.
Priceless.
The whole point, Ed, is to use the language of cinema as though it's never been spoken before. To challenge the audience. I mean, why does anyone go to the movies in the first place? To see themselves, to see their own bizarre, complex, fascinating, and paradoxical lives played out on a
Talk English, will you?
The most powerful narrative tool ever invented, and it's fallen into the hands of bankers. I mean, come on, Willow, there's got to be something more to movies than money. I'll give you an example. What's your favorite picture?
Gold Diggers, 1933.
So that the transition is somehow less painful as the audience leaves the theater and returns to reality. They feel as if their own lives have been touched upon, that they have been given, well, at least a rendition of the truth, that finally they have been treated with...
This is all terribly interesting. But what's all this I hear about you and Dolores Del Rio? Now, Orson, you know I'm just dying to see your picture. And I know it's gonna be boffo. But the story's about a publisher, right? You're not doing Hearst, are you?
Good God, no. No, no. Our character is more an amalgam, really.
Look into my eyes and tell me you're not doing Hearst.
I'm not doing Hearst.
Well?
It's too long.
Well, talk to Hausman. He's the one who wanted wide margins.
The flashback scheme isn't working. And you have to keep Susan and Leland separate at the end, otherwise there's no sense of time lapse.
If you do that, then the logic breaks down because...
Look, Mank, it's a brilliant script. No question, absolutely brilliant. It needs some shaping, that's all.
Yeah, sure.
We should celebrate. Drinks, Halsey.
Listen, I still have 3 weeks left on my contract. If you prepare some notes, I'll do the revision.
I don't have 3 weeks. Schaefer wants it yesterday. I'll send you the revisions. Oh, and Mank, we need to change the name.
What? The title?
No. It's a grand title, American. I was thinking more the character name. Charles Foster Craig. Doesn't have the knives-out poetry I was looking for.
Okay.
I was thinking of Kane.
As in Abel?
K-A-N-E, one strong syllable. Kane.
Craig is one syllable.
Yes, but it's not a great syllable. Thanks, Halsey.
No, I haven't been drinking since I started this.
To my invaluable comrades.
Goodbye.
American? It's an awful title, of course, but I can't think of anything better. Someone came up with a sea of upturned faces, which has a nice sort of operatic ring to it. I thought of John Citizen, USA, but That struck me as a bit Warner Brothers, or, God forbid, Capra-esque.
Citizen.
Pardon?
Citizen Kane. That's your title. Citizen Kane.
A Z and a K wouldn't look half bad on a poster, would it?
Don't get too far ahead of yourself. I mean, these budget projections.
I know. I don't know what you want me to do. I've already cut the script down to the bone.
Listen. And don't throw a fit. I want you to seriously think about doing War of the Worlds.
Oh, God, George, please.
Do War of the Worlds as a feature, and everybody will be happy.
Don't ask me to do this.
You're a 24-year-old novice director. This is difficult material, maybe impossible. And old man Hearst is going to come down on us with all he's got.
Think of the free publicity.
Oh, please.
Look, George, every idea has its moment. This one is right now. If it's half as good as I think it is...
It's not a matter of good or bad. At the end of the day...
Why did you go into this business, George? Why? Wasn't there a time when making pictures meant something to you, that it mattered just a little bit? That they were worth taking risks for? George, if you look into my eyes right now and tell me to go make War of the Worlds, I will. I'll make it. And yes, it'll make you money, and I honestly... I can't think of a reason why you should let me make this picture, except that you should.
You know, I'd do anything to get you the hell out of my office. Here. Go make the goddamn picture.
Tracking. Medium shot, close up, reverse. Medium shot, reverse. What lens is that?
24. Open aperture. We used it on long voyage.
Could you run that reel again, Frank?
Yes, it's right here. That's the one there. I'm not sure, Mr. Wells. I'll try. No, Mr. Wells.
You fuck. You selfish fuck. Studio pal, if that's not an oxymoron, send it to me. I thought we did it together, of course, and I thought it was the two of us, but you see, Citizen Kane by Orson Welles. You took my name off the fucking script?
It's a mistake, Mank. Some steno girl obviously made a mistake.
You took my name off the script? You can't do that, Orson.
I fucking well can. I own your goddamn script, and I can do anything I want. Don't you forget for 1 minute that I took your 350 pages of drunken rambling and made a movie out of them. And now I've got to shoot the son of a bitch, so thank you. Thank you very much, but I have all I need. You can stop calling me. Today, today we are beginning a great adventure. Together, we're going to tell a story that I think is of some importance now. I won't lie to you, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Every one of you has had more time on a soundstage than I have. Every one of you knows your job, and I, of course, am still learning mine. I ask for your patience and your help. And I ask for one other thing, that you allow yourselves to get a little lost with me, to travel into the dark wood of uncertainty, to take a few wrong turns. Because along the way, I think we just might discover something amazing together.
That's swell, Orson. Now, where do you want to put the camera?
this a director's contract? Why the hell did you sign this? This is a suicide note, George. The bastard's got us by the balls.
I trust him, Harry, deep down.
You see 24?
Yeah, I see 24. I've never seen anything like 24.
I don't believe it.
What? He shot 3 scenes, 2 with dialogue, when he was only supposed to be doing camera tests.
George, the man is obviously an anarchist.
Yeah. Who's 2 days ahead of schedule. Son of a bitch. 281.
Now, Dr. Coleridge, we will record you quite fast. I need you to look at the camera, right into the lens. Don't take your eyes off it until I yell cut. Thank you, darling. The lines aren't important right now. You sit right here. See if you can get your... She's fine! Thank you. You just look right into the camera and you'll be fine, all right? Great.
I still think we should undercrank and play it backwards.
When I want your opinion, Greg, I'll ask for it.
Collaboration or...
Make it fast, Andy.
Orson.
Call it, Kit. Roll camera. And action!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was terrific. Wonderful done. Really, really wonderful. Top notch.
On the next one, maybe you could close your mouth a little bit. We could go for a slightly more subtle version. Well done, though. Right. Well, obviously we need to go again. I'll be in makeup.
Listen, you cannot just destroy a camera, for Christ's sakes. Do you have any idea what these things cost?
I know, George. I feel terrible about it.
Come on.
What about this one, Mr. Wells? Black tie. We borrowed one from next door. Well, stole it, really, but I don't think they'll notice till Monday. Look, I need,
Perhaps this, Mr. Wells?
I'll try with the other one. I'm sorry, I need Agnes for another day. Do you think you could fix it for me? Good. Look, thanks, George. I've got to run, okay? Greg!
What?
Action.
Rosebud? I'll tell you about Rosebud.
Cut. Let's go again. Action.
Rosebud?
Keep rolling.
Rosebud? I'll tell you about Rosebud.
Cut. Again.
Orson, you cannot shoot 56 takes of one line.
It's the climax of the picture, George. Don't you see? The audience has been waiting for 2 hours to find out what Rosebud is. If they don't believe they're about to, we've let them down. The trick doesn't work. The whole picture depends on it.
Line. Cut, print, end of story.
Drunk. What do you care? You don't care about anything except you. You just want to persuade people that you love them so much that they ought to love you back. Only you want love on your own terms.
Orson? You want to cut?
No. Keep rolling. Right. Sorry, Joe. Anywhere in your speech. Ready? Action.
Drunk. What do you care?
And I'm looking at them, and they're looking back at me, waiting for something brilliant. The only thing is, so am I, waiting for some moment of inspiration that'll finally convince them all that I'm worth all the time and trouble and money they've invested in me. But I'm not, am I, Meg? I'm just a fraud who couldn't care less about anyone except himself, isn't that right?
I don't know, Orson. Is that what you think?
I don't know what I think. That's the problem. I just know that I miss you, and I was wondering if you might consider coming back.
First, you wanted me out. I'm out.
I'm sorry. This is the shooting script we've been using every day. I thought you'd like to see it. Did I ever tell you about my father? He was a drunk. My dad. When my mother died, I was obliged to accompany him on his business trips, Europe, China. I suppose in one sense it was a way of seeing the world. Richard Headwells and his amazing boy genius. But he would drink and it would get embarrassing. And, well, I began to resent him because I was so sparkling, you see. So when we got home and I went off to school, I decided to cut him off. I turned my back on him because I couldn't have him getting in the way of my genius. He would write me letters that I would never answer. He would call me and I would ignore his calls, and when he eventually visited me at school, I would manage to find myself conveniently indisposed. When I finally did see him again, he was in a coffin. I was 15. And all of a sudden, he wasn't the embarrassing drunk anymore. He was my father. He was the man who showed me the world.
Have you shot the beach scene yet?
No.
Good. It occurred to me the other day that we're starting that scene completely incorrectly. We should understand that Susan's been watching.
Closer. Closer. Stop.
Can you see my shoes?
Yeah, but we lose your head.
Joe! Do me a favor and stand in here, will you? Look, Greg, it has to be lower. This is the scene. We have to look up at these two men as pillars soaring to the sky, towering virtues in combat.
Orson! We've been through this. We can't get the camera any lower, so find another goddamn shot. Orson, what the fuck are you doing?
Looks like he's tearing out the floor.
It's 4 in the goddamn morning.
My favorite time of day, Greg.
I've set back the sacred cause of reform. Is that it?
All right. That's the way they want it. The people have made their choice. It's obvious the people prefer Jim Geddes to me.
You talk about the people as though you owned them, as though they belonged to you. Orson, I'm so goddamn tired.
Keep rolling, Greg.
I can't remember the lines.
Come on, for Christ's sake. Come on, Joe. You're drunk. You're angry. Now use
We're
it.
not all hopped up on Benzedrine, Orson. Some of us humans need sleep.
It's good, Joe. Now give me that goddamn line. I know you've been waiting for weeks to say something to me. Don't tell me you've gone soft now.
You don't care about anything except you. You just want to persuade people that you love them so much that they ought to love you back. Only you want love on your own terms.
A toast, then, Jedediah. To love on my own terms. Those are the only terms anybody ever knows. His own. Cut! Print! What's next, Greg?
That's it, Orson. We're done.
What?
We're done.
Well, how about a real drink, then,
Mr. Wells, compliments of Mr. Schaefer.
Orson, Hedda here. You naughty boy. You told me that I would positively be the first human soul to see your masterpiece, and here I read in the reporter there's a screening for the magazines tonight. Oh, rough cut. Been there, Orson. Know the drill. See you tonight. Little prick.
This is awful. There's no music. The sound isn't even synced.
Relax. They've all seen a rough cut before.
I know, but why Hedda, George? I mean, the magazines are
If
one
Hedda
thing.
says she's coming, you just mix up a batch of martinis and pray.
What did that mean?
Oh, Mr. Hurst. Hello. Oh, I am so delighted you could take my call. I just wanted to let you know that I saw this Orson Welles picture last night. First screening ever, don't you know? And Mr. Hurst, I just don't understand something. I do not understand why Luella has not told you that it's all about you.
About me?
Yes.
In detail?
Oh, yes.
Thank you for this information.
No, it's my pleasure, sir.
Yes?
Mr. Schaefer, Miss Luella Parsons is here.
Here? As in right outside?
Yes, sir.
Tell her to wait a minute.
Yes?
Shit.
Schaefer,
Luella,
I gotta see this Wells
I was
picture.
just fixing something to drink.
You drink at 10 a.m.
No, I meant,
And I want to see the picture today.
well, that may be a tad difficult.
Oh, cut the malarkey, buddy. The boss himself wants me to see the picture today.
He asked you personally?
That's right.
Hurst?
Bingo. I'll be back at noon.
Oh, joy.
We'll continue with your singing, Susan. I don't propose to have myself made ridiculous.
You don't propose to have yourself made ridiculous. What about me? I'm the one that's got to do the singing. I'm the one that gets the raspberries. Why don't you let me alone?
It's all you. The war with Pulitzer, the castle, Marion,
How so?
the jigsaw puzzles, and the career. A man spending a fortune to make her a star, only it's opera and not movies. And,
Yes?
the drinking.
Go on.
Oh, the whole picture's a mess. Jumps all over the place. Very arty. It's all built around this sled called Rosebud that the guy had when he was a kid.
What did you say?
Yeah, that's the guy's last words are about a sled he had as a kid called Rosebud. Makes no sense at all.
Rosebud.
Yeah.
So our life is the subject for mockery. All of it. Every personal detail. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Parsons, I have one additional question for you.
Sir?
Why were we not informed of this sooner?
Sir?
I pay you a good deal of money to be my eyes and ears in Hollywood, do I not? If you cannot provide this simple service, then you are of no use to me. Please be quiet. This young man has made a motion picture detailing my life. This motion picture was made at a not insignificant studio, and you knew nothing about it.
He lied to me. He looked me in the face and told me it wasn't about you.
And how do you feel when you are lied to?
I want blood.
Good. Retain that feeling. Let it nourish you. It shall nourish us both.
Randolph.
Louis, I hope you don't mind my popping in like this.
Not at all. Come on, sit down.
What a wretched place this is. I never come to town without feeling filthy. You really must buy that piece of property near the castle and come north.
Wish you could, but business.
Which is why I'm here. You've heard of this Citizen Kane picture?
Yeah, RKO.
Evidently, it details the exploits of a newspaper publisher, much like myself. Entirely too much like myself. No one wants their private life paraded about for the curiosity of the movie-going public, if you catch my drift. I don't see how the release of this picture will do anyone any good, really.
So sue him. That's what I'd do.
Thank you, Louis. I'll keep it in mind. Say, while I'm in town, why don't the two of us drop by the LA Country Club and play 18 holes? Maybe we could get Mr. Warner to join us. And Mr. Cohn, and Mr. Selznick, and Mr. Goldwyn.
The club is restricted.
Oh, so it is. How silly of me. I sometimes forget that you're all Jews. Apparently, quite a number of people forget, if they ever knew. See what you can do about this Citizen Kane picture. Will you, Louis?
That's right, fella. And Mr. Hurst has authorized me to tell her that you're looking at the most beautiful lawsuit in history if you release this picture. He'll bleed your little studio dry, and you can all go on back to New York and do Shakespeare with a boy wonder.
Can I talk to Hearst?
You are talking to him.
The Journal was particularly harsh on Roosevelt today.
You really ought to lay off him, Pops. He is the president, you know.
He's a Bolshevik. He'll have us at war with Germany within the year. I think I'll run that picture of him in a wheelchair.
Please don't. What do you think?
Sir, we got the call. Thank you, Joseph.
What is it, Pops?
Nothing for you to worry about.
What is it?
The SEC has turned down my request for relief on the debts.
How much?
It's not
How
something...
much?
$125 million.
We're $125 million in debt?
Yes.
Wow. How does one get $125 million in debt?
One buys things.
Oh.
We open on Monument Valley. Towering stalagmites reaching towards heaven. We track in on a single solitary figure. Quiet man.
Come here.
A lonely man.
What did I tell you? I told you.
Who is he?
I wanted factual, right? I want cold. I don't want a hot sound. No vibrato. No vibrato.
You want to do the life of Christ?
You have to admit it has a built-in audience, Greg. We shoot it like a Western, vibrant, stark, modern. All on location in Mojave Desert.
Hey, Greg, kid. His next picture, he wants to play Christ.
Yeah, I hope he's planning to start with the crucifixion. You read Luella?
I am trying to work.
Sorry, Bernie. We'll take it outside. Sounds wonderful. So, what am I today? A puny upstart or a spoiled dilettante? I wouldn't be that. She probably can't spell dilettante.
And how is the country to feel when this industry continues to employ bedraggled foreigners and swarthy refugees instead of real Americans? Doesn't Hollywood know there's a depression on? Don't real Americans deserve work?
Well, at least she's off cane.
Off cane? Orson, this is code language to the studio bosses. Bedraggled foreigners and swarthy refugees? Now, who the hell do you think that could be?
I don't know. Peter Lorre?
Who owns this town? Who runs every studio? Jews.
Okay, they're Jews. So what? They're Jews, man, just like you.
Just listen, you idiot. This is just the first shot. The next time she will actually use the J word, and the studio bosses will do anything to keep that word from going into print. And Hearst knows it.
What are they gonna do, Mank? Are they gonna kill me? Is that what you think?
Why don't you ask Thomas Ince that question?
Sorry, Mr. Wells. We need to be able to hear.
Orson, he knows. Do you understand what that means? That he knows? He knows.
What are you so afraid of, Mank? It's done. It's in the can. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, and it will stay in the can. That film will never come out. Hearst will not allow it. The studio heads will not allow it. That film will never see the light of day.
Are you on this side, Mank? What? That's what it sounds like to me. Are you on this side? I mean, for Christ's sakes, you wrote the goddamn script. You fought for the credit.
That's right, and I told you that this would happen. Didn't I tell you? Huh? Right, listen, I got my check, you got yours. Let's move on.
I will not move on! Who are they, Mank? Who are these men that you're so afraid of? Who are these tiny little fucking men? They're accountants.
We're ready. You want to hear it?
Switch it off. Switch it off!
Would everybody please leave?
They got us, didn't they, Pops? I mean, they nailed us, didn't they? The crazy old man and his whore.
Marion.
Bought and paid for, just like one of his goddamn statues. At least in the movie, he marries her.
That picture.
I'm not that woman. I know what it could have been, and I know what it gave up to be with you. I mean, they've even got the goddamn jigsaw puzzles in their pubs. Why did they do that to us? Why would they do that to us?
Has he no idea of the power that controls him? Get me Luella Parsons. Now. Fancies himself an artist. That's not art. It's an abomination. The man's a charlatan. Gossip monger and a fraud. Miss Parsons, use the file.
So what have we got here, LB? We got faggots and commies and junkies. We got movie stars screwing niggers and little girls. We got Jews. We got MGM, Warner Brothers, Columbia, Disney, and Fox. We got Hollywood.
What do you want?
Kill Citizen Kane.
How?
I don't give a shit. Now, the boss has been working on some stuff, and I've been working on some stuff. Now, I want all you boys working on some stuff. Because if it looks like this movie's ever gonna come out, I start running down the street with these pictures like a screaming woman with her throat cut, you follow?
Joe, how bad is it?
Miss Davies,
Come on, Joe, how bad is it?
it's bad.
I've been thinking about the Examiner in Chicago. It's just not making any headway against the Tribune. Circulation is way down. I think we should buy the Tribune, eliminate the competition. And I'm starting a campaign against Mr. Wells and his tawdry little film.
Sure, Pops.
What do you want me to do? I'm telling you, no one's willing to open this movie.
So we open Dallas, Detroit, Kalamazoo. It doesn't matter. For God's sakes, George, we could show it in a circus tent.
Come on, Orson.
We have to go public. If they see Kane, he's exposed. The film is our best defense. If we get the press on our side, that
He is the press. God damn it.
George, wait.
You don't understand that the stockholders in New York are scared shitless. But we start a publicity campaign against Hearst now, and he'll destroy every RKO picture that's out there. I mean, I'm about this far away from being fired myself, and I'm the only friend you have in the world right now. So you've got to trust that I'll do what I can.
We have to go on the radio and
Radio? You think this is some kind of a fucking game? Do you have any idea how many people RKO employs? You want to shoot yourself in the head, you just go right ahead and do it. I can't stop you. But you're not going to drag this company down with you.
George, we need to make a statement. We have to tell people what he's trying to do.
There's not going to be any statements. I'm talking about jobs. I'm talking about food on the table.
No, you're not. You're talking about letting them bury my picture.
My picture? My picture? I'm so sick and tired of hearing you say that. It's my picture, too. It's his life. Did you ever think about that?
How can you defend him, George? After what he's done to us? He's a monster. He's a soulless monster.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding, kid? Huh? You're the soulless monster.
George, please. No. George, listen to me.
Orson!
It's all I've got! It's all I've got, George.
Whose fault is that?
Explain it to me then.
There is nothing to explain.
Millions of dollars a year on art and statues, and there's nothing to explain.
I will not defend my life to you.
I'm not asking you to defend anything, Pops, but we are in a pickle here, and we need to talk about it.
We are in no pickle, as you so euphemistically put it.
You gotta wake up now, Pops.
There is nothing more to discuss.
You don't have any money left, okay? That's what no one else will tell you. You are broke. You spent it all. You cannot buy the goddamn Chicago Tribune. You can't buy a goddamn thing.
You are being excessively theatrical, Marion. As it just so happens, I need the Tribune.
But that's just it. You don't need it. You don't need any of it. I mean, that statue, for instance. How much did that cost?
It's 17th century from Avignon. That's in France.
I know where fucking Avignon is, okay?
There is no need for you to use that kind of language with me.
Did you need it? Did you need any of it?
I wanted it.
And there is a difference between want and need.
Not to me.
Why? Why? Just so you could show what a big man you are? Is that it?
That's right. You've captured me exactly. And so good night.
Where are you go? Hey, Pops, you will not walk out on me this time.
You are repellent to me when you drink.
Well, tough shit, because we have to talk about this.
You are crude, slovenly, and unattractive. And this discussion is at an end.
Fuck you, Mr. Kane.
I will not have this in my home.
I'm just trying to understand.
No, you're not. You want to condemn me, like everyone else. You want to point your finger at the pathetic old man, grown lunatic with his spending, trapped in his ridiculous castle. Still fighting old battles he will never win.
No, Pops.
There is nothing to understand. Only this. I am a man who could have been great, but was not.
I was 18 when we met. He was 50. Really? I just saw that big old gold ring and I just grabbed right on because he was gonna make me a star.
And he did.
Yeah. I wanted to do comedies, silly stuff, you know? But, Pop, he doesn't get comedies to do good. Kept putting me in those period pieces. Carol, you know this Citizen Kane movie?
Mm-hmm.
The one that's supposed to be about Pops and everything, and the character, Susan Alexander, is supposed to be me.
Marion, everyone knows you're not like that.
But that's just the thing. I am like that. This little girl comes from nowhere and meets this guy. He rules the world, you know. And somewhere along the line, she gets lost.
Thinking like that is only gonna drive you nuts. You were a great star. You had a good run. That ought to be enough.
But all of a sudden, it's not. You know, it's hell when you gotta look back and you say, what I could have been.
Can I help you? My lord.
How much for all of it?
In an armchair by the fireside, just big enough for two. We'll we'll be happy.
Of the Nazi
Oh,
weapons
so
of
happy
destruction.
while
It is
we do
unmistakably
as
apparent to all of
lovers
us
do.
that unless the advance of
With
Hitlerism
no one
is
there
possibly
to
checked now,
notice,
the Western
a
Hemisphere
little kiss or two in the gloaming by the fireside with you.
You got my memo. What do we do?
He's a fucking pisher. Why does Hearst give a shit?
Well, it's enough that he does.
Would Luella really do it?
Oh, yeah. In a New York minute.
I say to hell with Luella. And to hell with Hearst. This hits all of us. It's our business, and we can't take it lying down.
We all didn't make Gone with the Wind, you know. Some of us can't afford your principles. We gotta look at this checkbook-wise.
Now, who isn't hurting already? All this Jew talk. Now he's boycotting RKO ads. Next week it's Warner, Fox, or Columbia, right?
Goddamn right.
Got us nailed. Dates, times, photographs, for God's sake.
I don't mean to be funny, but what could he have on Mickey Mouse?
He's got you so tied in with J. Edgar Hoover and America First, you might as well put on a brown shirt and kiss those happy little kiddies goodbye.
Relax, Walt. At least I don't have you screwing Snow White. I got fucking Errol Flynn on my payroll.
You're a smart man, Louis. I suspect you didn't call us all here without a plan. Give over.
We will buy this movie, and we will destroy it. We will assemble a fund between us, and we will go to George Schaefer, and we will buy the negative at every print of Citizen Kane, and we will burn them. If I don't hear an objection to this agenda in the next 5 seconds, I'll assume the motion is carried. Very well.
What does it profit a man to gain the whole world if he loses his soul?
John the Baptist says, a night with Rita Hayworth.
George! Just the man we're looking for. Look. Not a single scene shot in the studio.
Of course, you're gonna have to help me out with the counting, George.
Listen, I think you should sit down.
I don't want to sit down, George.
All right, don't sit down. The bosses of the other studios have made an offer of $800,000 to buy the negative and all the prints, to burn them. They went to the stockholders in New York. I've been talking to Swanbeck. I think they're going to take it.
You shit. You treacherous little shit.
Orson, this isn't George's fault.
Shut up, Mac. You want to take my movie, George? Is that it? Is that what you came here for? Okay. Take it. But why not take it all, George? Why not take everything, George?
Everything I am, everything I could be is in that film. Take it, George, here. I offer it up to you. Take it. No, George, wait.
George, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, I am. George, please, just give me one more chance. Let me go to New York, please, George. Let me go talk to the stockbrokers, and I promise you, I promise you, you will never see me again. Good afternoon. Today, a man from Germany invaded Greece. He's already swallowed Poland, Denmark, Norway, and Belgium. He is bombing London as I speak. Everywhere this man goes, he crushes the life and the freedom of his subjects. He sews yellow stars in their lapels. He takes their voices. In this country, we still have our voices. We can argue with them, and we can sing. And we can be heard because we are, for the moment, free. No one can tell us what to say or how to say it, can they? Gentlemen, I am one voice. That is all. My picture is one voice, one view, one opinion, nothing more. Men are dying in Europe now, and Americans soon will be, so that we can surmount the tyrants and the dictators. Will you send a message across America that one man can take away our voices? So, who is Mr. Hearst? And who is Mr. Wells? Well, Mr. Hearst built a palace of brick and mortar and little wars and corpses piled high. Mr. Wells built a palace of illusion. It's what we call a matte painting. It's a camera trick. It's nothing. Nothing but a dream. Today, you have the chance to let the dream triumph. Thank you.
We open May 1st. It was a pretty speech, Orson, but you got lucky. Hearst is going bankrupt. It's all over the wire. Pretty speeches change the world, George. You meant it, right? Does it matter? Yes. It matters.
We will be immediately closing 12 of the papers in the wire services, and we will be liquidating some other assets as soon as possible. Most of the land in Mexico and your collection of art and antiquities.
Mr. Hearst spent his life collecting this art.
We've been in touch with Gimbel's in New York, and they've agreed to hold a special sale. They've given over an entire floor to the merchandise. You'll have to go there in person to sign the bill of sale, by the way. We don't know yet whether we'll be able to retain the castle. The land has some capital. We might be able to keep it on as an investment. Maybe break it up into smaller units for housing.
When will it come out?
We can't keep it a secret, sir. Once we announce the Gimbel sale and start liquidating the assets.
Let it go, Pops. Let it go.
Mr. Hurst, I'm not sure if you remember who I am. My name's Orson Welles.
I know who you are.
Well, then you probably also know that I've got a picture opening tomorrow night. Be happy to arrange some tickets for you if you'd like to come.
I wonder, have you any idea the damage you've done?
Do you?
Intimately. For every sin you've placed on my head, I could give you 100 others. But I believe that a man's private life should not be made public property.
Well, despite what you may have read in your papers, I'd like to think my film was more than a cheap expose of one man's life.
And what would you call it?
My man gains the world and loses his soul. I suppose in some circles that would be considered a fair exchange.
It's not my life you've sabotaged with your film, Mr. Welles. My battle with the world is almost over. Yours, I'm afraid, has just begun. Good luck, Mr. Welles.
Kane would have taken the tickets.
It's my birthday this week. You know that, George? 26.
Happy birthday.
Ain't it the bee's knees to see all the high mucky mucks dolled up like Aztecs for human sacrifice?
You gonna watch?
Yeah, I know how it ends. Rosebud's the sled.
Hank.
Rosebud's the sled. Come on, it doesn't matter. They'll hate it anyway. Not enough close-ups. Too many New York actors.
Knock it off, Hank.
Relax, kid. You made a great picture. Now we have to convince them.
So does this mean you're in for the life of Christ?
I got the axe this morning.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's all right. I made my choices, same as you. This whole Hearst nightmare. Who's gonna remember? Nobody. We'll be lucky if they remember the goddamn movie.
What have I done?
Land on his feet, he always does. Let's get a drink.
We pulled it off, didn't we, Meg?
Depends on what side you're on.
Look, Meg, I never meant to.
Sure you did. Anyway, was it worth it?
I don't know. I can't imagine doing it any other way. Suppose it's just my character.
You know, it won't be easy. Having made your masterpiece at 26.
Is that what you think? That I'm just gonna burn out at the ripe old age of 26?
All stars burn out, Orson. It's the flame that counts.
To the flame.
To the flame.